So you want to be a hypnotist? Well, so I get this question very much in my line of work as a professional hypnotist. And what is it that you need to do in order to become a hypnotist? Well, some people would say you need a psychology degree. Some people would say that you need a medical degree. Some people would say it depends on which state you live in, the local government, if it's allowed to be a hypnotist. And I will say this to you. You can be a hypnotist in any state whatsoever, the United States or any country. There might be legalities on it as far as what country you live in. Yet you can still practice and do hypnosis or NLP, but you have to be very careful with it. And what I mean by that is you have to take a lot of responsibility of what you say. Recently, there was a woman who has now made a big commotion in the news today. And essentially, she told a guy to kill himself and to not be a wimp and to get back in the car and allow himself to kill himself. So why is that important? Well, it's her, even though she was malicious in doing it, it's still a form of speech, and it shows that people are accountable even on a non-professional way of the results of what happens to the people that they speak to. And this happens all the time with therapists, with teachers, law enforcement officers, lawyers, doctors, judges, everybody. So you have to be responsible for what you say. Now, that being said, I want, and all the legalities out, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a lawyer, I am a certified clergyman or spiritual advisor with the Universal Church of Light. You can Google them. Yet that's what I do. That's how I get my business. So what do you need to do to become a hypnotist? Number one, I would say get the book, Idiot's Guide to Hypnosis, or The Dummy's Guide to Hypnosis. And same thing with NLP. Get the Idiot's Guide to NLP and the Dummy's Guide. You know, the idiots that are dummies guides for NLP and hypnosis. Those books are very basic. They're not going to have anything earth-shattering in there. They're not going to have anything that's going to be able to help you make $100,000 in a year, but it's going to be the bare bones basics. Now those books go for roughly about 20 to 30 bucks each at Barnes & Nobles. I'm sure you can get them used off of Amazon. And those books are very, very detailed. They have a lot of good graphics, a lot of good funny cartoons that'll help move the subject matter along. And, pardon me, what I like about those books is that it gives a very basic description of what hypnosis is. I'll say that since 2008, when I was reading those books originally, I've gone past those books. I think me reading those books would be very, very basic review. It'd be almost like kindergarten. Yet everyone needs to go through kindergarten, right? Everyone needs to go to first grade. And if they don't, well, they're gonna miss out a lot of crucial information. The next thing is that I would attend a short seminar. Attend a short training seminar, very basics, and I would not pay more than $100, or I would not pay more than $200 actually for a seminar. A basic intro to hypnosis, I would not pay more than $200. Here's why. When you pay more than $200 for a hypnosis seminar, you don't know what to expect, you're still ignorant, you're still unaware, but if you pay $100 or less, you're gonna get a very basic, a very simple, concise message, or you should, and it's gonna give you an idea of what to expect. Now, people who are charging less than $100 will either A, give you a very concise package, say, hey, this is hypnosis, or this is NLP, or they're just starting out and they're trying to build confidence, they're trying to build their practice, and there's nothing wrong with that. Everyone has a beginning, so there's no reason to make fun of those people. I really applaud them, I really praise them, and in some ways, I'm considered a beginner to other hypnotists. So in that being said, I would like you to go to those little seminars, meetup.coms, and experience those. The second thing is, if it's more than $200, let's say I would consider Tony Robbins to be NLP hypnosis. That's what he uses, that's what he does. I would consider him to be a high-priced hypnotist, a very high-priced luxury executive level, if you would. So when I think of Tony Robbins, I think of him. I think of him being someone who does know what they're talking about, yet it's very expensive. And his job is not to really explain it to you. It's not for him to train you. It's for you to have the mojo done on you. So experience it, that's great, and a lot of people want to be the next Tony Robbins. There's a lot of those people that I see like, I'm just like Tony Robbins, and I'm just like, I don't want to work with you because there already is a Tony Robbins. There already is one. Why do we need two of them? I want someone different, and I've already seen all the products and services. Nothing against Tony. I think he's great, yet it might not be your style, and who wants to be Tony Robbins? Like, I'd rather be Adam Goodson. That's who I am. So go to those conferences, go to those things. Next level is training. Go to a hypnotist that you trust. Go to a hypnotist that is local. I always say go local, and here's why. I have several of my friends that have gone to a gentleman by the name of Matt James for training. Matt James is a good hypnotist. He is a good hypnotist. But when I meet his students that say that they are master practitioners, I'm sure he has some golden stars in his, his trainings, like people who are really good. But I see a lot of people who have taken those courses and haven't studied, they haven't applied, and I would not feel comfortable saying, hey, go see Matt James. I would say go see my two mentors, who are Steve Pickus and Robert Zentes in San Diego. They're exceptional teachers. They've been doing it for years and years and years, and they taught me. So I feel that I'm pretty good. Actually, I am really good at being a hypnotist. I'm very confident in this. I'm very natural at it. And what I've noticed is a lot of people, they have to pull out a book to go through a routine. They're not very flexible. They know the technique, but not the technology as a whole, or why it works, or how it works, or the history of it. So if you do get trained, make sure it's somebody that you can visit commonly, or you can go and see like maybe once a month or once every 2 months. I know Matt James does a traveling thing, and if that's what you want to do, go and do that. Yet, I told you so, I see it every single time. Recently, I went to a seminar that was a past life regression hypnosis seminar for training, for me to get to another tool in my toolbox. And I sat down and I heard this woman, the trainings or the weekends was like, I know what I'm doing. She would correct me. She would tell me what to do. And I was very humble. I wasn't in charge of the seminar. I was there to learn. And I was like, okay, cool. And I didn't know her from anybody else. I've never met this person. Yet she's telling me what I need to do with my own hypnosis practice and my own hypnosis system. And when I hear that, you're going to see that. That's a lot of ego in the hypnosis world. There's a lot of people saying, this is the way it should be, this is the way it's not going to be. No, the only way that it needs to be is the way that works for you and the way that works for your client or clients. That's it. Do not let anybody else dictate what you say or do in your hypnosis practice. There's always another way to skin a cat and use the tools. That's it. I will say this, if you are trying to get a college degree in hypnosis, especially in California and most states, you're going to see it seen as quackery. It's not considered a legitimate therapy to use. Something like CBT, cognitive behavior therapy, which is praised by psychologists and psychology majors and academia as being the most effective therapy there is out there. And it works for 80% of the people. I think that's very noble. I think it's very great. I will never bag on or degrade any form of therapy, especially if it works for somebody. Yet sometimes it doesn't always work for people. Hypnosis works. It works for me. It works for my clients. And I have the evidence. I have the testimonials. So what does that mean? Who do we listen to? Who do we get trained? You can get trained by me. You can get trained by whoever. Yet here's the thing. You look at it like this. You are going to go and learn a very specialized skill that people charge thousands of dollars. So I for myself at this time, if I'm going to do a 2-hour session with somebody, it's roughly $800 for 2 hours minimum. I need $800 to do 2 hours. That's just the way it is because it's so specialized, it's detailed, and it's personalized. Now I have programs where I meet people for 2 to 3 hours a week for 5 weeks. I have another one where it's 8 weeks. I have another one that's 12 weeks. So I go from anywhere from $800 to $2,000 to $4,000, all the way to $10,000. Why? Because it's my time and I package it that way. So if someone comes and says, hey, I want to learn what you have to do, well, I've been doing this since 2008. If I'm going to squeeze in almost 8 years of me doing hypnosis and communications and nonviolent communications and verbal judo and give it to you in 2 days, which is like 8 hours each day more than likely, that's 16 hours. One, that's gonna be very difficult, and two, you're gonna really learn. So if you're gonna try to become a hypnotist, number one, get those books, Idiot's Guide to Hypnosis, Idiot's Guide to NLP. Read them. If you still wanna keep doing it, go to a seminar, it's very cheap. If you wanna keep going, fine, get a mentor, get a teacher, get some kind of community, and then start building up your practice. Yet, I would strongly discourage you from paying more than $10,000 for a certificate. I have friends of mine who have paid $25,000, $35,000, $45,000 to learn hypnosis and NLP from certain people around the world. And it's like, hey, I just paid $50,000 to get this certificate, to get this, and it's like, okay, but that's not a valid therapy that you can do in the state of California. Like, you're gonna lose, you could run a risk of violating marriage and family therapy licensing agreements that you have with your state. So if you're gonna consider that for a few moments, okay? So if you like this, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, go to my website, impactfulchangeshypnosis.com, and I'd love to hear from you in the comments. So post something down below, all right? I'll see you later. Bye.